Hey everybody, Thomas Joseph here, and today I'm super excited to share with you another Science Behind. And today's Science Behind is all about devil's food cake. Now, are you one that enjoys a light and airy devil's food cake like this one here? Or do you prefer a dense and fudgy devil's food cake like this one I have here? Well, it's all a matter of ratios of fat to flour, and I'm going to show you how you can customize your cake batter to your taste. So, let's get started. So what do I mean by these formulas and playing around with ratios? Well, there are two main components that you need to be worried about, and that is fat and flour. So if you wanted a light and airy cake like this version here, you can see it has a nice domed top, you need 3 cups of cake flour and 3 sticks of butter. But if you are like me and you like a dense and fudgy cake, which I have here, which has more of that brownie type top, that crackly top and a fudgy interior, you are going to need more fat. And so I have 3.5 sticks of butter, and I have added 4 ounces of bittersweet chocolate that has been melted. So these 2 items here are the fat component. And then we've reduced the overall flour by a cup. We only need 2 cups of cake flour. The rest of the ingredients stay the same, regardless of how you make it, light and airy or dense and fudgy. So I'm gonna get started. I have 3.5 sticks of butter here in my mixer, so I'm making that dense and fudgy version. Add 2¼ cups of granulated sugar. Cream this together until it's nice, light, and airy, and that will take about 3 to 4 minutes. So while the butter and sugar is creaming together, I am going to take my cocoa powder, which is consistent throughout the 2 recipes, and it's 3/4 cup of Dutch processed cocoa. And Dutch processed cocoa is this dark cocoa. It's not natural. Natural is more of a red cocoa, and Dutch processed cocoa is treated with an alkaline solution, which means that it neutralizes the pH of chocolate. Chocolate is naturally acidic, and Dutch process is a neutral pH. So stir this together with 3/4 cup of hot water until it's nice and combined, and then add 3/4 cup of sour cream. Now, sour cream is our acidifying agent, which is going to react with our leavener. That creates the air and the volume of the cake. So 3/4 cup of sour cream. Whisk your sour cream into your chocolate mixture here. And now add that melted chocolate. Again, it's 4 ounces of bittersweet chocolate that's been melted and cooled. Now our butter and sugar mixture is nice and creamed here. It's light and fluffy. Now add the eggs, and that's 4 large eggs. One at a time, you're gonna add it to the mixer. Your ingredients should be at room temperature. So all of my ingredients here are at room temperature. And 1 whole tablespoon of the best quality vanilla extract that you have. Now, vanilla and chocolate work really well together. Vanilla actually makes things seem as though they're chocolatier than they are. So whenever you're making something with chocolate, add a little bit of vanilla and it amps up that flavor. And now I have 2 cups of cake flour here, and I have 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Again, that's the leavener. It's gonna react with the sour cream, that acid, and create those bubbles which give rise to your cake. So sift these 2 together, and now we're ready to put the whole batter together. And one more thing, I almost forgot, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Remember, salt is very important in baked goods. It brings out the natural flavors. So I'm gonna start with 1/2 of our dry ingredients. Start this on low speed. Add all of this chocolate sour cream mixture, and now the rest of the dry ingredients. So I'm just finishing stirring the batter together, making sure that it's all evenly incorporated, and now into our baking pans. I have 2 9-inch round baking pans here that have been buttered, lined with parchment paper, buttered again, and then dusted with cocoa powder. This will ensure that the cakes come out of the pans nice and evenly. So use your judgment here and try and evenly distribute the batter between the 2 pans. You could use a scale here to weigh out the batter so that you know that each layer is perfectly even. And now gently smooth out the tops and have your oven preheated to 350 degrees, and these cakes will bake for about 40 to 45 minutes. You want to make sure that a toothpick, when you insert it in the center of the cake, it comes out clean. So when your cakes come out of the oven, make sure you cool them in the pan for about 15 minutes before you invert them onto a wire rack to cool completely. Then you are ready to layer your cakes and frost them. Now, I didn't mention this before, but this formula, whether you make it light and airy or dense and fudgy, is a really great formula for layer cakes because it's sturdy enough, but yet it's still tender. So this isn't like a molten lava cake at all, but it's perfect for layer cakes. A little helpful tip here, if you're cutting cakes and you want perfect slices, have a little container of warm water off to the side and a wet towel so that you can dip your knife and wipe it off and you will get nice clean slices. Let's see, that I think is a good size piece for me. This looks amazing. It's frosted with one of my favorite frostings, and that is a milk chocolate frosting. It's surprisingly light, yet so delicious. So now you have the formula to customize it just as you like. Enjoy.